Hi. So this should be the last video I make in this series of voice problem update videos because I can now pretty confidently say we have found what the problem is, what the solution is, and it has led to things being consistent and strong enough for a long enough period of time that I feel confident in talking about these things now and speaking in the sense that the problem seems to have been solved. I didn't want to jump the gun too early and say, hey, things are better, and then have it all go to hell again. So in order to explain what the problem was, I'll have to turn back the clock to April of 2023, when I went and got treatment for my eating disorder that I had for a while. If you go back to any of my late 2021 and 2022 videos, you will notice I am very skinny. I did have an eating disorder. One of the things that I did in that eating disorder was I would spend like 22 hours a day intermittent fasting. This eating disorder got intense enough to the point where I was down to 121 pounds at the beginning of 2023. But I would intermittent fast for like 22 hours. I would eat for like a couple of hours at a time and then go back to intermittent fasting again. So in April of 2023, when I received treatment for this, I went back to eating like a normal person at normal intervals and normal amounts of food. Cut to June of 2023, we start noticing the problems begin with the voice. It's not a horrible problem, but there's just some noticeable like weakening in stamina, maybe a little bit more trouble getting certain top notes. So from the previous videos, you guys should have an idea of the next bits of the timeline. Things got much worse to the point where it was like laryngitis frequently, hoarseness, barely being able to sing, having to go on steroids constantly to get through gigs with my band. Just no vocal consistency and none of my usual ability for a very, very long time. Now, one of the problems that has plagued me through the years as a singer is acid reflux. It's what caused me to develop early nodules back in 2020. But I had been on a consistent medication regimen to treat the acid reflux for about 3.5 years when the problem started. So there was no reason to think acid reflux was the problem. But as I said in my last update video, my ENT thought that it looked like acid reflux was the issue. So I had a little bit of a change in my medication regimen, and he had me start taking Gaviscon tablets throughout the day. It showed a brief improvement, and then it kind of stopped improving again. So we reached March and early April, and I had been off from the band for a couple of months. It's time for me to come back, and things have still not improved much, and I am now desperately trying to figure out, like, what do I do? How can I fix this? If the problem is acid reflux, but, taking these Gaviscon tablets still don't seem to be helping as much, what do I do? And so I had to kind of sit there and look at the facts, and some of this is stuff I had been thinking for a while. This problem began after I got treatment for the eating disorder. So the biggest and most obvious change before these issues began were my eating habits, the amount that I ate and the amount of time I was eating during the day, because I stopped intermittent fasting altogether. So out of desperation, I began intermittent fasting again. At first, it showed a little improvement, and then more improvement. The longer I did it, the better the voice got. The better it got, until in this last month, things have been the strongest they've been since last June. So as I'd mentioned, I'd been on a consistent regimen for my acid reflux for the last 3.5 years when this problem began. This means that going back to eating normally caused such an upset to my system that it got my acid reflux out of control, that the medication I'd been taking for 3.5 years couldn't contain it anymore. And for whatever reason, my system just never was able to adjust to eating like a normal person again. So this means that the solution to this problem was that I had to take a huge step back in the progress of my moving on from my eating disorder and go back to intermittent fasting in order to save my voice. And it has worked really, really well. I mean, like, I've not like really sung or warmed up today at all, but I mean, I can't argue with those results. So I've had to go back to intermittent fasting, and I eat now when I'm at work, when I need it the most. So I eat from like 7 a.m. to about 3 p.m., and then I'm off for the rest of the time until the next morning. It's not like it was before. I'm allowing myself to actually eat in that window instead of eating as little as possible. Although I have tried to change what I eat in that time period so that like, it's a lot of like protein shakes and protein bars so that I'm getting the calories, protein, and nutrients I need, but not putting as much into the stomach so there's not as much to come back up if the acid reflux does come back. But I'm also not as strict about it as I was before. Like, any chance I can get to break it, I will happily do so. I just can't do it too many days in a row, and I can't do it within a certain amount of time before I need to sing. So like I said, it's been weird because going back to eating normally was a major important step forward for the healing from my eating disorder. And now, in order to save something that is incredibly important to me, it's the most important skill I have. It's the thing I am good at. I've had to take a step back. So I want to say mixed feelings, but like, I have my voice back. And that has been such a major thrill. But, I hate intermittent fasting. I hate it so much. But it speaks a lot to how much I messed up my system doing it the way that I had been doing it before I received treatment. The fact that my system got so messed up it couldn't recover despite eating normally for as long as I had been. My system can just never readjust, even with the change in the acid reflux regimen and things like that. But anyway, like I said, we appear to have found what the problem was. We appear to have found how to address it. And we've seen very clear results, finally, after a very long time. And I hate intermittent fasting, but I will happily do that if it means having my voice back, because I didn't realize how much I missed it. It's been weird having my voice back and singing, because I now have become so used to things not happening when I try to do them that when they do, I'm surprised. I'm like, was I just able to do that? Or why am I able to do this? Why is this so easy? It shouldn't feel as easy as it does. But this is how things used to be. I just had forgotten. It's been so long. Anyway, I'm so grateful to have an answer. I'm so grateful that things are back. It's hard to maintain because it still seems like, when I don't follow the intermittent fasting, things do kind of get weak again. But again, I'm just grateful it's back. So hopefully this means I'll be able to record some more stuff soon. Things have been going great in the production of Jesus Christ Superstar I'm in vocally, and stuff with the band's been going well. I'm excited to get back into doing more gigs with them so I can, show off and use what I have now. But yeah, thank you guys for supporting me through this whole time. Again, hopefully I can have some more stuff to share, some more songs for you soon, because now that I can actually record stuff and have it sound good, I'd really like to do so. So hopefully you'll get some of that soon. But again, thank you. I'm really happy to be able to give you this update and to be able to tell you that we're finally out of the woods. So thanks.